everybody to Middletown. I have been on the Middletown Township Committee for a few years now, and this year I serve as Mayor of Middletown. And despite what some people like to think, I'm probably not that much older than you. I'm only 28 years old. And so, because the reason you're here today, the reason you're taking part in this is to, in a way, learn about leadership, right? Most of you are going to be graduating pretty soon. You're going to be going off to college. You're going to be learning a trade. Some of you may know what you want to do already. Some of you may not. But the conversation that I know and the production that you're about to hear is about two leaders, right? Two people who fought not just for civil rights, but for respect, for an honest and just world, right? A just nation. And I think one of my favorite quotes came from one of these two men, and that is Martin Luther King, who said, "I've chosen love because hate is too big a burden." And I think that's true then, and I think it is true today, that all of us must understand. And I know I'm getting very close to the front row, but these lights are blinding up here. So all of you have an opportunity. The reason I bring up my age is because a lot of people, there's always critics out there about you, about your age, and millennials, they don't know what they're doing. All they know is Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. And what I say to that is crap. That's crap. Every generation is going to have leaders. Every generation is going to have its ability to do good in the community. Two people that you're about to, the production you're about to hear about is two people who did something for themselves. Not just for themselves, but for all. You all have that same opportunity. You all are getting your education. Many of you will go to college. Many of you will learn a trade. But it is what you are going to do with those things, what you're going to do with those things, how you're going to impact other people, that will determine your mark on history. And everyone thinks, oh, I'm not going to affect history. It doesn't matter if you affect world history, like these two years. It doesn't matter if you affect nationwide. It doesn't matter if you affect statewide. But your parents have given you an incredible opportunity, and that's your education. Doing something great with your education is incredibly critical, because I think it's the goal of every parent, and some of you may one day be, to give your children a better life than they had. My parents gave me a better life than they had. I was the first one to go to college. I was the first one to get a 4-year degree. And now I have the opportunity to give back. So it's my goal for myself to be able to prove to not only them, but to define to an entire world of pundits and loudmouths that want to say that the only thing anyone born after the previous generation, anyone that's considered a millennial, can do is tweet, be on Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, whatever the next thing is on social media. They just look at it on their phones. Crap. You can affect change. It doesn't have to go in the newspaper. It doesn't have to go on Facebook or Twitter. It's going up to the person in the lunchroom that doesn't have anyone to talk to and talking to that person. It's the person that's sitting behind you in math class that's struggling on an exam, to turn around and help that person. That's leadership. Not all of us are going to be Martin Luther King. I'm certainly not. But what I can do is I can affect change here in this town. I can talk to you to try and get you to understand that leadership is not just about the glamour. It's not about how many Facebook friends you have and Twitter followers and how many likes you got on your last Instagram post. That's not what this is about. It's about just doing good in your community, talking to that kid that is struggling, talking to someone who just needs help in their day-to-day life. I thought my wife was watching I think it was the Grammys the other day, and I walked into the room and Lady Gaga, and it's not often that you're going to hear a politician quote Lady Gaga, but I thought what she said was incredibly powerful about not turning your back on people. If you see something in this world that you believe is not right, stand up and say something. I try and do it here. I have a responsibility to the 68,000 people that Middletown calls home. We have 11 fire companies of more than 500 all volunteers. We have 116 police officers in this town. We have hundreds of volunteers that try and make this town a better place. You all have that same opportunity. I know you don't think you do now, and I'm not here to try and convince you that you do, but I'm here to tell you that you do. Martin Luther King effected change civilly. He sat there and he saw an injustice and he did something about it. You may not have as big of an injustice that Martin Luther King displayed. But if you do something in your town, if you do something in your neighborhood, if you do something in your state, and someone else sees that, they're going to do the same thing. So if you can demonstrate to one other person that change is possible, that the betterment of the society is possible, then maybe they'll go out and do something. And then another person, and another person. And you have the ripple effect that can be demonstrated that the world isn't all that bad. Despite what every news channel will always try and tell you how horrible this world is. There's always good. You just got to find it. And you need people dedicated and willing to go out there and fix it. I hope you enjoy the presentation today. It's been my honor to be with you.
I would like to say something.
Sure.
So can the kids that are in the college, my college class, stand up for a second, please? So these kids that are standing right now,
don't be afraid.
They're not, believe me. They, okay, you can sit now. They just gave their first speech. So these kids are juniors in high school and they're in a college speech class. And so they're, one of the things that we talk about is being able to articulate your dreams or that their voice matters. And that's what a lot of this is about. But what I wanted to say is that look how young this guy is, okay? And he's mayor already. So he's living proof that as long as you work towards what you want to work towards, you know, it can happen.
My father used to, I'll just end by saying this, my father used to tell me every single day. I worked with him in the summer times from the time I was about 14 till I was about probably 17 years old. Every summer. He didn't go to college. He was a contractor. So in the sweltering heat, he would drag me out every single summer, and I hated it. 14 years old, I just want to, you know, hang out with my friends in the summertime. I don't want to do this laboring work. I don't want to shovel crap up off the ground. I don't want to sweep floors. So he would bring me along 3 days a week, and he paid me. And it was his company along with my grandfather's company, and he taught me a lot of things. Taught me how to do electrical work, how to do plumbing work, how to hang drywall, all these things. But he used to tell me every single day, wake up telling yourself that you can do something. You're not going to be successful every single day. You're not going to do something great every single day. But you have the opportunity to do something great every day. So can't means won't. And if I ever said the word can't, I would be kicked off a job site and not paid for that day. So it was a waste of my time. Because can't means won't, and the world hates a coward. You're the only person that can tell yourself that you can't do something. I don't want to hear somebody tell me that they can't do a math problem. I don't want to hear somebody that they can't get into college. I don't want to hear somebody tell me that they can't get better at a sport. That's crap. That is bull. You can. You can. You just have to be willing to put the work in for it. We got a running back up front here. He's going to be the best running back he can be, as long as he's willing to put the work in for it. And you all have the same thing. You all have something in your life that you're aiming towards, that you want to accomplish. Only you're the only one that can tell yourself that you can't do it. And once you do that, you haven't given up on that, you've given up on yourself. So wake up every morning with the attitude that you can accomplish something. Because one day you're going to get to go home, put your head on the pillow, and know that you did. So thank you all very much for having me.